G'day everyone, my name's James. Hopefully you can understand the Australian accent and it's not too bad for you. And thanks for the opportunity to tell you what we do in Voyage Control. As mentioned, we're really focused on logistics and supply chain, but that's actually sort of not where we started from a construction perspective. Our first clients actually owned convention centres in the United Kingdom, and one of them got redeveloped and they redeveloped their parking lot. And that's where all the vehicles would wait to queue before they were able to unload for the convention centres. So in getting rid of that, they had this existential challenge about how do they manage the logistics for the big events that they run. So we had to design a scheduling platform for the events industry. And we work with events clients all around the world, whether it's convention centres or event organisers. But we sort of realised that actually an event is really a mini construction activity on steroids. You've got tons and tons of different companies that are trying to deliver according to a particular project schedule. There's not enough space in the loading dock. You've got a mess in terms of who needs a forklift when. So we sort of started working in the construction industry, and it's the largest sector we work in globally. We work with about 25 major construction firms all around the world, and you'll be familiar with some of the names on here. And we work with about 15 major GCs in the United States. Fundamentally, the platform that we have is there to manage logistics. This is a process that has traditionally been done in the United States on paper, spreadsheets, phone calls, fax machines, and carrier pigeons. And so really the idea of the platform is to help our customers digitize and manage everything that is going on with logistics. We started with deliveries into loading docks. We expanded into tower cranes and hoists and so on. And now we're doing a lot of work in the context of inventory control as well. And just being able to put everything into a single digital platform is really sort of enabling our customers to understand what's happening. As mentioned, we started with convention centres and then construction. We also work into other sort of key sectors, being ports and airports and retails and facilities management. Sometimes we work with the owners and sometimes we work with, in the context of construction, the GCs. And each of these different stakeholders will have very different issues and concerns that we are there to support. The solution that we have from a web and mobile perspective is really to help our customers understand what's going on. And where we've started from is the loading docks and material handling requirements on a construction site. And that sort of allows our customers to know what's going on in real time and manage everything proactively at the construction site. Increasingly, though, for a lot of our customers, it's now becoming more about how do they know what's being delivered onto their job site? How do they capture that information to ensure that they know what they're paying for, that they're not sort of losing materials? For some of our customers around the world, it's also about real-time tracking of the vehicles as well, so they know exactly where the vehicle is. You can do that with Uber, but you can't do that in the construction industry. And then for a number of our customers, it's also about supporting compliance with reporting and analytics. Whilst it's important to help a construction site itself, it's equally important to be able to support the needs of a construction company. The vast majority of construction companies, particularly in the United States, do everything on a site-by-site basis. And so they don't really have a good handle on understanding how their operations are going across the company, whether it's within a region or indeed across the United States itself. So the platform enables the capturing of all this information in one place, because fundamentally, a lot of this is actually just put on a whiteboard, which is then rubbed out. It also allows our customers to have standardized processes for their entire supply chains. And that becomes more and more important for customers who are trying to be as efficient as possible. We were very fortunate to become one of Procore's first partners back in sort of 2016. And we sort of watched the growth of the Procore app marketplace with a huge amount of interest since then. And so we've had to sort of start to think about doing exactly the same and replicating the success of that. And we already have a number of different integrations in place. Fundamentally, outside of the United States, we do have a lot of customers that use Autodesk and Oracle products as well. So we need to think about how we link into some of their project management tools. And then ultimately, how do we think about linking into 4D, 5D, and 6D BIM, where you try and link the logistics schedule and logistics plans with the actual project schedule of the project. What I'd like to sort of switch into now is just a series of examples of projects that we've been working on over the last few years, so you have a sense of what we do. And I'll sort of rattle through these so you have a good understanding. So Suffolk was our first client in the United States, and it's one of our enterprise clients globally. The typical project for them is an inner city job site where there's space for 1 or 2 trucks in the loading docks and 1 or 2 tower cranes. And it's all about using these assets in the best way possible. The first project we actually did with them was all about scheduling the internal elevators because they were doing the fit out of the Millennium Tower in Boston. And from the time that we started working with Suffolk, we actually sort of integrated into Procore then. And so all of our reporting goes into the Procore daily reports. Dansko was another early client of ours. In this case, this is the new entrance to Penn Station in New York, where the platform itself is being used not only to sort of deal with the congestion on the roads, but also capturing important information to support QA/QC requirements on site. And because it's a publicly funded project, also meet the needs of the Buy America scheme, which they're capturing information for. One of our smaller construction projects in the United States is with Turner. On this site, they were only able to get vehicles delivering for 30 hours a week, so 6 hours a day during each day. So the platform was there to really maximise that really valuable unloading space. Something that's quite unique about this project in the United States is they actually also used it to capture lead data to sort of meet lead certification requirements. And this was the first project where we rolled out the submittals integration with Procore. Going to a much bigger scale, Madison Square Gardens as a developer is a client of ours, which AECOM is the GC. What is really great about this project is not only are we managing all of the deliveries and the inventory control that's coming into the job site, but we're also helping to manage it into all of the large package owners who are very large subcontractors. So that throughout the supply chain, both AECOM Hunt and MSG have a good understanding of everything that's going on. And then all of the data that we're collecting in our platform for deliveries, inventory control, and so on is then being exported into an Azure data lake and into Power BI, consolidated with all of the other information that they need to support payments and so on. An entirely different part of the world, an entirely different type of project. This is with Flintlease. This is a 17-acre job site in the middle of Kuala Lumpur. And it's very, very much focused on the logistics challenge, which is how do you manage 12 tower cranes efficiently? And so that's where the platform is supporting them at the moment. And because of the size of the site, they also have their own concrete scheduling management on our platform because they have their own batch plant. As this takes shape as a complex, the platform will then transition to managing the loading docks for the construction and then ultimately for the operations of this space as well. In Australia, this is actually the largest infrastructure project, which is a massive thing about improving the rail system in Sydney. And the idea of the platform here is to not only manage the operational requirements of what's going on, but also to assist in doing the real-time tracking of vehicles to meet both the compliance needs of our client as well as the operational needs of the client to sort of ensure that they know exactly what's going on. And then I'll just finally finish with 2 more. This is actually our largest construction site globally. It's a 1,000-acre site where we're helping to manage 200 construction projects simultaneously, where our platform is administered by UPS. And this is both about meeting operational needs as well as security needs of the local police. And then finally, coming back to our very first site, again, they've had a $1 billion redevelopment. And so the platform as it currently stands is both helping to manage in the same location, both the event logistics as well as the construction logistics without causing too much chaos. I hope that was relatively useful and hopefully you could all understand what I was saying. And thanks, guys, at Shadows Ventures for letting me present the business. And please put anything in Slack that you want to ask. Thank you.